Assalamu alaikum. This is match number 8 of Sheikhani Super League Season 3, where Zabrij Sports are taking on Team NJS here tonight. They've won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. Abdullah Alam has been taken to journey for the first 3 deliveries. All of them have been going to maximums. And coming from the bat of the right-hander, Abdullah Alam, who has already made a statement of the very first 3 deliveries of this innings. Just dragged his length slightly short, otherwise Abdullah would have gone for another one. What an electrifying start this is already for Zabrij Sports. Remember, they are 2 down in this tournament. They need to win the next 2 to stay in contention to qualify for the qualifiers. Slightly short, but it was angling down the leg side. But Abdur Rahman has been put under so much pressure early on. First 3 deliveries going all the way for 6. Twice over long on and 1 over deep extra cover long off region. He goes for another one. This time he hits it flat and he hits it over the boundary rows. What a wonderful start this from Abdullah Alam. 4 maximums in the very first over. Brilliant start this from the batting side. They are 24 for no loss after the first over. Both teams have won, in fact, played 2 matches up till now in this 3rd edition of Sheikhani Super League. NJS have won both of them. Whereas Zabrij Sports, who are batting first, well, they have been asked to bat first after they lost the toss. They have lost their previous 2 matches. 2 spinners are starting the proceedings for NJS. We saw Abdul Rahman taking to cleaners in the first over, where he went for 4 sixes straight back over his head. And now it's going to be Saqib Ikhlas from the other end, the right arm off spinner against Danish. Well, he wanted to go for a big shot as well. Just missed the line of the ball. The ball might have drifted away a little bit from the right-hander. Talking about the other team's performances in this Sheikhani Super League, well, Big Bang is sitting right at the top of the points table. They have played all their 4 matches of the league stages. They have won 3, they have lost 1. RM Sports are at number 2 with 2 wins. Might be given as wide, not given, but slightly wide outside the off. I mean, just let that go to the keeper, Danish. Goes for another one. Doesn't time it. 3 dot deliveries to start the over from Saqib Ikhlas. So far, so good. Completely different to what we saw in the previous over, where first 3 deliveries went for a 6. That's lovely bowling. He's inviting the batter on that front foot, asking him to drive with that fielder at extra cover. Now there is no one at square leg. The mid wicket is at the boundary ropes. There is long off in place. Mid on is inside the 30-yard circle. He's once again beaten outside the off. Some 5 dot deliveries from Saqib Ikhlas. Is this going to be the maiden over, the first of the innings and the first of his spell? Slight adjustments to the field. Long on and long off back. Mid wicket up. Abdullah Alam just stayed on the back foot. In fact, Danish stayed on the back foot, hit that towards backward point. So a maiden should start the spell from Saqib Ikhlas. 2 overs done. The score remains on 24 for none. So straight away changing the bowling attack. Abdul Rahman being replaced by the fast bowler Matiu Rahman from the opposite end. Starts off with the back of a length delivery, slightly pushed away towards mid-off by Abdullah Alam as he gets a single to his name. Matiu Rahman has been simply sensational for NJS so far in this tournament in the first two matches. Got 4 wickets in the first one, and in the second match where they were defending a pretty modest total, he bowled the Plum Clement over, but he gave away just 2 runs, because of which he were able to win that game comfortably against Gulbarg Gymkhana. And he often makes sure that he deceives those right-handers and those left-handers with that slower delivery that he bowls from the back of the hand. He's not afraid to roll his fingers over, even if he's bowling with the new ball, because he knows that there is no point of bowling as fast as possible on this track, as the runs are easy to come by. Danish, on the other hand, has faced 7 deliveries. He's yet to get up the mark. Another slower delivery, just meeting him outside the off stump, just too early into that stroke. This is the match number 8 of Shaikhani Super League. Obviously, there are 2 more league matches to come after this one. Slightly slower this time, angling down the leg side. Will be given as a wide by the on-field umpire, so an extra run will be added to the total. NJS, after this match, will have still 1 more match remaining against Gulbarg Gymkhana. Slightly fuller in, and just opening the face of the bat and finding that fielder on the offside. At point, it's Saiful Naseem who is out there, who has been in simply outstanding form with the bat at the top of the order, whether it's stay ball cricket or you talk about hard ball cricket. And obviously he'll have a bigger role to play when he's going to be opening the innings in the next innings of this match. Fine leg is up, third man is back. Another slower delivery, this time just hitting with the bat, but the wicketkeeper Anas Mustafiz running towards his left and making sure that he doesn't allow those batters to go for a single. So far so good from Matiu Rahman. Once again, single on the first delivery and then just a wide down the leg side. Apart from that, it has been nothing. Slightly short and wide, and he gets away with that. So an excellent start from Matiu Rahman too. Just a couple of runs coming in his opening over. 3 overs done. Zabrij Sports are 26 for no loss. Saqib Ikhlas will continue from the other end. Remember, his first over was the maiden, where he didn't allow Danish to go for any run. Now it's Abdullah Alam on strike, and we know how he loves to hit down the ground, as he did on that occasion, but it was excellently stopped by that fielder at mid-off. He's not looking to turn the ball a great deal right now, Saqib Ikhlas. He's just making sure that he bowls as straight as possible. The idea of bringing on 2 spinners with the new ball is to buy a wicket early on in this batting power play. Goes on the offside. Does he find a gap? He does. He's going to get a boundary eventually, Abdullah Alam. That's his first of the innings. Remember the 4 sixes that he hit in the opening over. He had to wait for a couple of more overs to get the ball in the gap. This time it was just too short and a little wide outside the off stump, making sure that he finds that gap to the right of that fielder at point. Flighting it up, driven beautifully. There is no one stopping that. That is even better than the previous one. It was pitched up, it was outside the off stump. The invitation was there to have a drive on the offside, and Abdullah Alam obliges. Just making sure that he gets closer to the pitch of the ball and just times it too well. Just look at the number of fielders there on the offside to protect those boundaries, but even then he managed to find the gap. Excellent timing and placement, and he has already raced away to 33 of just 11 deliveries. Nicely driven, but goes straight towards Umar Chawla. I think he was standing there at mid-off. Remember, they are coming back from 2 defeats in their first 2 matches, Zabrij Sports, so they've got a point to prove in this one. Tries to go for a big one. It's in the air, but I just get the feeling it's just going to go over the head of those 2 fielders on the offside and will rose past the boundary ropes too. Not where he intended. He was looking to hit it much straighter. Just got a thickish outside edge. Went over the head of that fielder at point. And it's the outfield that did the rest. 2 fielders were after the ball, but neither of them got closer to it. And as a result, Abdullah finished the over with yet another boundary. So 4 overs completed. Zabrij Sports are 38 for no loss. Going to be Matir Rahman to continue. Be his second. Bowls it slightly short and slightly wide. A little too wide for the umpire's liking. It's given as a wide outside the off stump. That just spaced and moved further away from the right-hander Danish. What an electrifying start this is from Zabrij Sports. No wickets down, 39 already on the board. Went too hard at that one. Just caught on the back foot there, Danish. It was full, it was there to be driven, but just throwing his hands at it without moving his feet much, and as a result, it went just past the outside edge towards the keeper. Another slower delivery. This is excellent stuff. Gets an inside edge, and in fact he has bowled him now. So he got the report he was looking for. Matir Rahman gets the first wicket to his name. Danish, who was struggling a lot, finally his misery comes to an end. It's another slower delivery that does the trick. Completely played all rounded, deceived by the lack of pace, and he was too early into that stroke. Even the bottom hand came off the bat, and as a result, the ball just found that gap between the bat and pad. The leg stump was castled. Danish has been dismissed, faced 13 deliveries without even opening his account. Matthew Rahman picks up his first wicket. It's 39 for 1. It's Zohaib Saif who has come out to bat at number 3 today for Zabrij Sports. Remember, he played a brilliant knock against Aram Sports while they were chasing down a big target, but even then he just couldn't help his team get over the line, but he still made sure that he got that brilliant half century, 78 to be precise. And today he's batting up the order, coming into bat at number 3, so you can expect him to keep that momentum going that was initiated by Abdullah Alam since the very first over, where he hit those 4 towering sixes over the bowler's head. Danish struggled a bit today, couldn't open his account, faced 13 deliveries before he got his leg stump castled. But even now they are at a very decent position, Zabrij Sports, scoring at almost 9.5 an over. They've just lost 1 wicket. They've got 4 deliveries remaining in this over and then an over remaining of the batting power play after this one. So you can still expect them to go past 50 or 55 in the first 6. And if they can do that, and if they can keep wickets in hand, they can post a decent total on the board. We have seen 160 odd runs being defended twice in this tournament. So even they post a modest total on the board and they've got decent bowling lineup, you can expect this match to be a little interesting. But for that, they'll need to make sure that they go past 160 or 170 at least. It's going to be Zohaib to face his first delivery against Matthew Rahman. Another slower delivery. That's brilliant, but the line wasn't too good. It was just drifting down the leg side. Had that been on the off-stump channel, Zohaib had no clue of that. It's not the first time he has been deceiving the batters with the lack of pace that he has. In fact, it has almost become his stock delivery, because in every over you can see him bowling 3 or 4 slow deliveries. Pace on, slightly short, just tucked away towards fine leg. And the reason why the batters are finding it so hard to read that slower delivery is that there is hardly any change in his action when he bowls them. He comes in with a decent run up, and just at the time of the release, he just rolls his fingers over, or some deliveries come from the back of his hand. Fuller, driven nicely. Excellent timing and placement by Zohaib. Just opening the face of the bat. It's his second delivery that he faced, and he made sure that he got a boundary. That shows that he's in very good form in this league, Zohaib. It was not a bad delivery. It was slightly on the up. It was just a little wide outside the off. Somebody went through with that shot, Zohaib, and made sure that he found that gap on the offside. His backward point, cover, extra cover, and point on the offside, and he still managed to beat them. Another slower delivery, but in the block hole. But they still are going to pick up that single towards mid-on. It's good now Abdullah Alam has got a partner at the other end who will also look to score runs, whether they come on singles or boundaries. It's good that the runs are going to come from both ends. Pretty sure they won't be introducing a spinner against Abdullah Alam, especially in the batting power play. Another decent over comes to an end from Mathur Rahman, a successful one where he got that wicket of Danish in it. 5 overs done. Zabrij Sports are 45 for 1. Another change of bowling. Saqib Ikhlas has now been taken off the attack. He's being replaced by Ghulam Mustafa. Just gets an inside edge a bit, Zohaib, but he'll still get that single, and it didn't go far away from the keeper or that fielder at short third. So you can already see the urgency being shown here by both these batters out there. It's important that they make sure that they look to score on every scoring opportunity, be it a boundary or a maximum or even a single right now. You see the batters who are coming at top of the order, they only rely on these or maximums, and they just let go of those single taking opportunities. But that has not been the case here so far from these two batters. Zohaib has looked really busy in his 4 deliveries, and we have already seen what Abdullah Alam has done. Three boundaries, 4 maximums so far in his innings, Abdullah Alam, and a couple of singles. One thing is for sure, this looks like a really good batting track here tonight. Pulls it slightly short, and he just gets it over. Fine leg, that will run away for 4 as well. A little too short there, but it was angling down the leg side that just allowed Abdullah Alam to roll his bat over. Now he's pretty tall, so if you're looking to bounce him out, make sure that you get it onto his neck height, because it was at a comfortable height for him. Just swiveled across and made sure that he kept it in the air, because he knew there was no one at deep fine leg. And after a couple of bounces, it rolled past the boundary ropes. So with that boundary, he now moves into the 40s, Abdullah Alam, and he hasn't taken much time either. 41 of just 16 deliveries. Picks it up over mid-wicket. Excellent stroke once again, just using his wrists on that occasion, Abdullah Alam, and making sure that that delivery that was also drifted towards the leg stump, he sends that to the boundary. Anything on legs and he's just going to tuck you over the infield. And he can afford to do that as well in the first 6 overs because there are just 2 fielders outside the ropes. Previously there was a fielder at long gone, now he has been asked to come back in. Mid-wicket goes back. Better line and better length and well stopped on his follow through. Now he's batting on 45, just one big hit away of what would be his half century. Abdullah Alam. He has provided his team with a brilliant start who have been struggling a bit with their batting. Another short delivery, this time it's up in the air. Fine leg fielder is trying to circle around that one. He won't get there. Fielder from the square leg had to come and stop that ball, but not before Abdullah Alam picked up yet another couple. So one thing is for sure, the bouncer plot didn't work in that over against Abdullah as he managed to pick up a couple of boundaries and a couple to end the over. 6 overs done, the batting power play is over. Zabrij Sports are 56 for 1. So the batting power play is done. Zabrij Sports have batted beautifully so far in the first 6 overs. They lost 1 wicket, but now they are at 56 for 1. Time for another change in the bowling attack. Abdullah Nawab, the finger spinner, now replacing Matiur Rahman from that end. Tell you what, he almost picked up that wicket. Because he was not looking to play that in the air. He was just looking to guide it towards the leg side. It went upish, but it went over mid-wicket. Abdullah Nawab usually bowls in the power play where he keeps it wicket to wicket. That can be a full toss and a no ball. Might carry to that fielder a deep square leg, but that's not going to count. It's going to be a no ball. They're going to pick up a single. In fact, they might come back for another run because the wicketkeeper was not able to collect that throw and there was no one backing up. So 3 runs gifted by Abdullah Nawab, and on top of that, the next delivery will be a free hit. And since Abdullah Nawab will be on strike to face that one, so they won't be able to change the field. He's pretty tall, and even then, he had to play that above his face. Comes down the wicket, hits it straight back to the bowler. That hit him really hard on his left hand. He had absolutely no time to react. That's how hard he hit that. Couldn't get his hand out of the way either, Abdullah Nawab. Once again, flied it up. Won't go for a single because the fielder was too close at extra coverage. Saqib Ikhlas himself. So he's batting on 49. Abdullah Alam. Out of which 24 came in the very first over of the innings. Comes on the front foot, drives that towards long off. He'll pick up a single, and that single will pick up his half century too. 50 of just 23 deliveries for the right-hander. 4 sixes and 4 boundaries included. He has been able to put up a show so far, and he's not done yet. It's just the 7th over of the inning, so you can expect him to go on and get a big score here tonight. Zohaib, on the other hand, has been able to milk away ring singles and runs easily on either side of the wicket. So you can expect a big partnership between these two right now for the second wicket. Abdullah Nawab was very lucky that he got away with that free hit as well as that waist high no ball. Lucky to get away with that as well, because that was a half tracker. Should have been put away on either side of the wicket by Abdullah. Instead, he's just going to pick up a single towards long off. 7 runs coming in that over from Nawab. 7 done. Zabrij Sports still scoring along at 9 and over. That's 63 for 1. Another change in the bowling attack now. Ghulam Mustafa being replaced by Umar Chawla, and he has been greeted with a 6 over square leg. Wow, what a shot that is. He knew that the job is not done when he got to his half century in the previous over. Now that was not a bad delivery, a length delivery, but he just got into that position where he just opened up that leg side for himself, and he had no hesitation in keeping that one down. He knew there was a fielder at square leg, but even then he timed it too well. 5 sixes and 5 boundaries so far from Abdullah Alam in this innings. Now, is there an edge? There is an appeal of some sort from the keeper, Anas Mustafiz, but he wasn't joined by the bowler. So that was definitely far away from the outside edge of the bat. Lighting it up, driven beautifully. There is protection out there in the deep cover, so he'll just pick up a single, but he's looking so confident right now. Almost every delivery is coming from the middle of his bat, even when he's looking to defend those. Slightly short, and he just stays on the back foot, does Zohaib. He's doing the right thing by picking up those singles and giving the strike back to Abdullah. Even he can hit boundaries if required, but he knows that his partner is proving to be absolutely flawless right now. It's better that he gets as much strike as possible. Slightly fuller, will just pick up another single towards long on. So an expectant start is from Umar Chawla. 9 runs coming off it. 8 overs done. Zabrij Sports are 72 for 1. So finger spinner from one end, the leg spinner from the other. Bowls another full one and just gets away with that. It was a wrong gun attempted by Abdullah Nawab, and it almost kissed the off stump. So fuller in length there. He's looking to drive it without using his feet much, but that ball just came back in after pitching. Comes down the track, drives it beautifully towards long go, but will just get a single. In fact, he deserved to get a little more runs out of that stroke. But he's oozing into confidence right now, Abdullah Alam. Whatever he has done has turned into gold for Zabrij Sports up till now. 73 for 1 they are. Out of them, 60 have come from the bat of the right-handing opener. Goes for a big shot, but it's not going to carry to long on. Will just get a single to Zohaib. Ali Musa is not a part of playing 11 today for NJS, the fast bowler who has taken the new ball in the previous 2 matches. Couple of fast bowlers being used tonight from NJS, Ghulam Mustafa and Matiur Rahman. Matiur Rahman has been the only wicket taker so far. Apart from that, it has been all spin. Comes down the wicket, takes it at a full toss, but once again it's going to just fall short of that fielder at long off. He's getting a little restless right now. Abdullah Alam will doesn't need to do that. So often we have seen batters getting a good start but then throwing their wicket away. Another full toss. This might... No, it doesn't. Fumbles a bit. And Zohaib will get another run. As if they have already decided that they're going to take on Abdullah Nawab in this over. Pulls it slightly shorter, playing it with a straighter bat, but will just get a run towards long off. So 5 singles coming in that over from Abdullah Nawab. Pretty decent one. 9 overs completed. Zabrij Sports are 77 for 1. Umar Chawla now into his second over. 77 for 1 it is. Zabrij Sports going at almost 7.5 and 0, 9.5 and 0 in fact. Goes for another big one. There is a bit of an appeal from the bowler, but not so much from the keeper. Haven't got boundaries in the last couple of overs, Zabrij Sports, so they will be thinking that they'll need to up the ante a little bit, although their scoring rate is pretty decent up till now as well. Balls at Fuller. It's up in the air. Chance of the fielder at long off. Will he take it? He doesn't. As a result, Zohaib will pick up a single. It was Abdul Rahman, I guess, at long off. He was a little slow in reacting to that stroke. Instead of middling it, he just sliced it up in the air. Zohaib looking to hit it much straighter. Instead, it went straight down to that throat of the fielder at long off, and he spills it. You can already see the bit of pressure building now on Abdullah Alam. He has been kept quiet in the last couple of overs. That too because of some really good spin bowling from Abdullah Nawab and Umar Chawla. He goes for a big one. It's up in the air. Chance for the fielder at mid. Oh, in fact, mid wicket, and he misses it. And not only did he drop it, but he also helps that ball go over the boundary ropes. Umar Chawla is disappointed. The trap was set perfectly to pick up that wicket. Abdullah Alam hitting it straight down towards deep mid wicket. Saifullah Naseem, well, he's pretty tall. He even jumped in the air, but even then couldn't complete that catch. So a 6 to end the over, and that means after 10, Zabrij Sports are now 85 for 1. Gets his man now. Abdullah Nawab was pitched up. It was there to be hit. Zohaib was just looking to give himself a bit of room by moving across the leg stump. The ball just pitching, going underneath the bat and hitting the off stump. Missing a straighter delivery. In fact, there was hardly any turn on that delivery, but even then, he was able to castle the stumps. So a partnership that was proving to be a little threatening now for NJS has been broken by the leg spinner. Sohaib Saif walks back after scoring 12. It's 85 for 2. Big appeal and given straight away. Couple of wickets now for Abdullah Nawab, and what a start to this over for the swinger spinner. It was Aswar who was facing his first delivery, and he was trapped right in front of the stumps. Playing all around, and it pitched and it came back in. It hit the front pad, and it was an easy decision for the on-field umpire. He knew it straight away, Abdullah Nawab, and he almost started celebrating as soon as the ball struck the pad. So after getting an excellent start, Zabrij Sports once again they are losing their plot. It's Asfar Sheikh who walks back for a golden duck, as Zabrij Sports have now lost their third, and they are 85 for 3. So Izhan is the new man in. Abdullah Nawab is on a hat trick. Pitched that one up and he hit it straight back to him. All of a sudden, in a span of like couple of overs, NJS have got the whole strong hold of this match now. But Abdullah Alam is standing relaxed at the non-strikers end, but now he's losing partners at the other. Staying on the back foot, getting a single towards deep square leg, does his on, which will bring Abdullah Alam now back on strike. Still, he has done the bulk of the scoring for the team so far. Now is he going to do something different? He comes down the pitch, hits it with a straighter bat, but long on is in place, will stop it comfortably. He's still looking to play those big shots, but does he need to do that right now? All he needs is a little partnership. Just make sure that you go at it and over without taking many risks for the next 5, and then you can launch big in the last 5. Because if he loses his wicket right now, then they might not even go to 160. Another big appeal there from the bowler, but it was angling down the leg side maybe. But 1 and over this has turned out to be from Abdullah Nawab. Couple of wickets to start the over and then just 3 singles to end it. 11 done. Zabrij Sports are 88 for 3. So after being tonked for 4 sixes in his opening over, he's back with the ball. Change of ends. Remember, Abdullah Alam hit him for 4 huge sixes in the opening over, all of them over his head. And now he has come into bowl, obviously after the batting power play with more protection at the boundary ropes. But I'm pretty sure when Abdullah Alam gets on strike, he's going to look to repeat what he did in the first over. Might see that happening now, since Abdullah is on strike. 70 of just 35 balls. He's still pretty busy in adjusting his field. He knows that he needs to keep the long on and long off in place. Bowls a short one down the leg side now. He knows if he's going to bowl fuller in length, Abdullah might use his speed and look to go over his head. So he's just dragging his length slightly back. Now he needs to make sure that he doesn't stay on the patch because the fine leg is up. Good pressure being applied now on the batting side. The run rate that was comfortably over 9 and over is now just hovering around 7.5 and 8. Two fielders out there on the leg side, so he'll just get a run. Abdullah Alam. A low full toss belted towards long off. They're in search of a big partnership right now, Zabrij Sports. Remember, if they want to win this one, they need to score at least 165, 170 because they're up against a very strong batting unit, NJS. Punching that one off the back foot towards long on, will pick up a single and will retain the strike at the start of next over. Pretty decent one, this one from Abdul Rahman. 12 done, it's 93 for 3. It's going to be Matia Rahman once again. Was pretty economical and was very successful in his first couple of overs. And he bowled a lot of slower deliveries and got that wicket of Danish. Now he's coming back, returning, replacing Abdullah Nawab. Abdullah Nawab still has an over to go, so you might see him later on in the innings. I think they want to dismiss Abdullah Alam as early as possible right now. But he's been batting sensibly since the loss of his partners at the other end. He knows that his team needs him to stay out there till the end now. Although there are other batters today waiting in the dugout too. We can see Umair Tariq getting ready, so he might be next in if a wicket falls. So he's another left-hander. Another slower delivery that has gone high up in the air. Now this might carry to the fielder at long on. It does. Once again, it's another batter who falls in that trap set by Matir Rahman and his captain. Full outside the off stump, no pace whatsoever. Comes down the wicket. Had to fetch it from outside the off stump. Got it from the toe end of the bat. And the long on fielder was waiting for it. Took a couple of steps forwards and comfortably held on to it in the end. So he did what he was brought in to do, Matir Rahman, to pick up another wicket. 4 wickets have now gone down for Zabrij Sports. Ishan walking back after scoring just 3. They are 94 for 4 now. So one left-hander departs, another one walks in. Umair Tariq comes into bat at number 6. Another one that hits the pad. He's appealing for it, but I just get the feeling it pitched outside the leg stump. Definitely. He was looking to cover the stumps there and got completely squared up. Might have been an off-cutter from Matir Rahman that just turned away from the left-hander. But once again, he's asking those questions with those slower deliveries, Matir. And so far, none of these teams have had any answer to his lack of pace. He bowls off-cutters to the left-handed batters and bowls back of a hand slower delivery that just grips into the pitch and gets a bit of topspin against the right-handers. He's got both the variations when you talk about the slower deliveries. Lovely bit of bowling. This is brilliant stuff from Matir Rahman. A wicket and just a single in that over. 13 overs completed. Zabrij Sports are 94 for 4. Coming to bowl his third over now, Abdullah Rahman, and he can afford to do that since the other bowlers from the other end have been bowling really well now for NJS. Once again, looking to pick up a single of the very first delivery now. He wants to come back for the second run, making sure that they throw it at the right end, the striker's end, but Abdullah Alam was a little too quick. Now, we haven't seen him getting boundaries in the last 4 overs now, Abdullah Alam. Comes down the pitch, chance with the field at extra cover, and he takes it, does Saqib Ikhlas. You can just sense the pressure was building on Abdullah Alam because of the lack of boundaries that he was getting in the last few overs. And the pressure that was created by the bowling side has paid dividends now. Not being able to get to the pitch of the ball, trying to lift it over extra cover, but not getting any elevation whatsoever. And Saqib Ikhlas, who was waiting comfortably to take that one. Another wicket goes down now for Zabrij Sports. Their 5 have gone down in quick succession. Abdullah Alam, meanwhile, walks back after scoring a brilliant innings of 75, of just 45 deliveries to be precise. It's 95 for 5 now. Syme, the new man in, so it's left hand right hand combination out there in the middle now for Zabrij Sports. He gets a single towards mid wicket. The last 5 or 6 overs have been brilliant for the bowling side, to say the least. And if you just break down their innings, Zabrij Sports, 24 runs came in the very first over, and after that, the next 12, they have only managed to score 71, and they have lost 5 wickets. Another lovely delivery that just moved away from Umair Tariq. He had no clue about that whatsoever. And he's also a spinner who can turn the ball both ways. And look at that ball just shaping away from the left-hander. It's not an easy job to bat in the middle order, especially when you're losing partners regularly. Umair Tariq obviously batting out of his natural position. He loves to score at the top of the order at number 3. But now coming into bat at number 6 with wickets going down, not much overs remaining, and the run rate also staying low. It's got a big role to play. Syme will pick up a single to end the over. A pretty decent one from Abdul Rahman. He got that big wicket of Abdullah Alam in it. Finally was able to take his revenge back. 14 done. It's 99 for 5. Imran Sajjad. Really, we completely forgot about him, what he can do. Got so much variety when you talk about their bowling. NJS. Got barrage of spinners. Imran Sajjad being introduced in the 15 overs speaks volume of how much depth they have in their bowling attack. Now even more fielders are standing inside the inner ring. You can see 3 fielders on the offside, point, short, third and extra cover. Won't haunt them if they can bring another one on the leg side at mid wicket, just to block those singles. At one stage they were looking comfortable to score more than 170 or 180, but now even 150 won't be easy to get, considering the fact that Mathew Rahman still has an over to go. So is Abdullah Nawab. That's another dot delivery. And even the fielders inside the inner ring have taken a couple of steps forward to make sure that they get to the ball as early as possible. 4 dots to start the over. Gets his man now. A loose shot in the end from Syme. He was getting a little restless. A delivery that was not that short of a length. He decided to stay back, looking to pull it. The ball just getting it inside edge. The ball hitting the pads and then just rolling back onto the stumps. So what a passage of play this is for NJS. In the last 5 overs, they have managed to pick up 4 wickets and haven't given anything away whatsoever. Saim Suleiman also walks back after scoring 2, as Zabrij Sports have now lost their 6th on the score of 99. Babar, the new man in this, can turn out to be a wicket maiden instead. Babar just pulls that one away towards deep square leg. Now Umair Tariq wanted to come back for the second run, but his partner was not even looking at him. So brilliant start this from Imran Sajjad, a single and a wicket in his opening over. 15 done. Zabrij Sport are now 100 for 6. Umar Chawla now coming into bowl, another over. Pitched up, finger raised. Another loose shot onside the off stump from Baba. Well, their batting line is falling like a house of cards right now. Outside the off stump, looking to have a drive at it. Took it in the second attempt, did Anas Mustafiz, and he knew it straight away. It's the 7th wicket that has gone down in a very short span of time. It's Babar Beg walking back after scoring 5. It's 104 for 7. Abdul Wahab at number 9. Nicely put away on the outside. There is a fielder out there in the deep who will just stop the ball before it could touch the boundary ropes, but Abdul Wahab will pick up a couple. Once again, it's pitched up. Chance for the fielder at long off, and he takes an excellent running catch. This is Abdul Rahman who has taken a stunner. He had already put one down, but this time it was a little tougher than the previous one where he had to run away towards his left and took a really good running catch in the end. Umar Chawla gets his second wicket of the over. Abdul Wahab came in, got 2 runs, and then straight away got dismissed. And Zabrij Sports, well, they are in a danger of not even completing their full 20 overs. They are 106 for 8. Almost got another one there with that wrong one. Well, he can afford to fly the ball a great deal now, Mashallah. He knows it's just a tail they're looking to bowl at. Furqan is the new man in at number 10. And just 2 wickets now remain for the opposition, so they can afford to do different tricks. A dot delivery to end the over. 6 runs and a couple of wickets in that over from Umar Chawla. 16 done. It's 106 for 8. Now into his second over, Imran Sajjad. He has already picked up one wicket. Got that away towards deep mid wicket, but will just get a couple for Khan. The biggest achievement for Zabrij Sports tonight will be if they can bat out their full 20 overs and do not lose the next 2 wickets. It's not going to be easy, especially with the way that Imran Sajjad is bowling right now, and he will get to bowl another over. Won't be able to complete his spell tonight. It's his second. He can bowl 3 at max because he was introduced later in the innings tonight. But the fact that he can turn the ball both ways and he bowls much slower through the air is precisely the reason why he has been so effective. Not only today, but in the previous 2 matches too. Lighting that one up now. He's mixing his length as well. So difficult for the batters when you have got so many overs left and not much wickets in hand. Either you go for those singles or you look to target those big shots. Tries to bowl a faster one, taken by Munib Javed. Soft dismissal in the end. Made it look so easy in the end. Hardly any other fielder moved. It was pitched up, looking to hit it as hard as possible. Munib Javed was standing there at extra cover, and he took it as if he has been taking them all in those practice. Another wicket to fall. Imran Sajjad gets another one. Furqan goes back after scoring a couple, and Zabrij Sports are 110 for 9. Krama, the man at number 11, gets away with that. It was a straight up flatter delivery, and he just put his bat out in the end. So dot delivery it is to end the over. Zabrij Sports after 17 are 110 for 9. Coming to bowl his last over now, Abdullah Nawab. Umair Tariq on strike, but he decided not to get a single of that delivery because he knows he cannot afford to expose his partner at the other end, especially with still 17 more balls to go. Well, if he won't be able to pick up singles, then we might see him going for those big shots, and in that scenario, NJS might buy another wicket. At one stage in the innings, Abdullah Nawab was on a hat-trick too when he got 2 in 2. Bowling around the wicket against the left hand just to cramp him for room. Bowls at Fuller, drives that one towards deep extra cover, but he's still not going to go for that single. Feel so sorry for Umair Tariq. Came out to bat at number 6 when just 7.5 overs were remaining. Then he was watching all those wickets going down at the non-striker's end. And now, with not much batting left, he's being asked to go for those big shots. Finally, he manages to connect one. Sends that over the boundary ropes for a 6 over square leg. But he'll be hoping that he can get few more deliveries like that, few more gifts like that, so that he can just accept it gratefully and hit them over the boundary ropes. Even then, might not be enough for Zabrij Sports. 116 is still well below par total on this batting track. But you got to give credit to the way NJS have bowled, especially after being struck for 4 sixes in the opening over. Now he's got one more delivery left in his spell, Abdullah Nawab. Can he get another one? He's got a couple of wickets tonight. Has been hit for a 6. Umair will be looking to get a single. Gets a short delivery, which he has put that away on the leg side. He'll get a boundary. But I don't think NJS will be feeling disappointed at this stage, because that means it's going to be the tail ender at the striker's end at the start of the next over. 4 to end the over it is. 18 done. It's 120 for 9. It's the last over for Mathieu Rahman. 2 for 11 so far for the fast bowler. Another slower delivery. Well, he has been simply unplayable tonight. Umair bin Tariq was looking to get into that position so that he could just hit that ball on the leg side like he did in the previous over, but the ball just turning away after pitching and almost hit him on his shoulders. Get some bat behind it, but he won't get it past Saqib Ikhlas at short fine. Just 10 more balls to go. Can they last till the end of the 20th over, Zabrij Sports? For that to happen, Umair needs to be on strike for as many deliveries as possible. He got 4 wickets in the opening match against Big Bang. Bowled really well in the second game against Gulberg Gymkhana when they were defending the total, and now he has picked up a couple. Umair Tariq decides to go big. It's up in the air. Now, has he timed it well? Long on is getting underneath that, and he has... Has he taken it? He has taken it in the end. Just inches ahead of the boundary ropes. He made that look so easy. Umair Tariq looking to get a 6 off the middle of his bat. Well, he in fact got it from the middle of the bat. It went straight up in the air. The long on fielder was almost standing at the edge of the boundary ropes and took it so easily in the end. That was a super catch in the end to make sure that Zabrij Sports have been bowled out for just 121 without even facing their full 20 overs. And that means NJS will get another opportunity to get another victory here tonight. And if they can manage to do that, they will be going at the top of the points table. Nothing much to talk about if we talk about the batting lineup of Zabrij Sports. Abdullah Alam, the lone warrior, scoring 75 of 45 deliveries, and apart from them, there was absolutely nothing from the other batters. 3 wickets for Matiur Rahman, couple of wickets for Abdullah Nawab, Umar Chawla, and Imran Sajjad in the end. So 122 is the target for NJS. Remember, if they go on to win this one, it's going to be 3 out of 3 for them. 122 is the target. We'll take a break and we'll be back after 10 minutes for the run chase. So 122 is the target, and so far 35 runs have already been scored in the first 3 overs by NJS. In fact, the first ball went for a 6, so it's 41 now. Danish bowling the 4th over of the innings. Couldn't contribute with the bat, but he's now bowling with the new ball in the first 6 overs. Remember, NJS have already won the first 2 matches, so if they move on to win this one, which is highly likely right now because of the start that they've already got, they will go at the top of the points table. He goes for another one. This time it's flat and it's so long gone. Wasim and Saiful and Asim are making it look a little too easy. In fact, a lot easier. They know the target is not a big one, and they are up against a side who is already short of confidence, so they can afford to take their risk, and so far they're paying off. 47 for none. The required run rate well within 5 and over now, so there's absolutely no worry for the batting side up till now. Another single towards deep mid wicket. That's going to bring Saiful and Asim on strike. The left-hander has been in scintillating form at top of the order. We saw him getting a half century in the first match too. He'll change his angle, will come around the wicket now. There's going to be a change in the field too for the left-hander. 4 fielders in the ring on the offside, along with long on and long off against Saifullah. No one on the leg side in the deep. Nicely driven now. He guys finds a gap. This might go all the way for 4 as well. An effortless stroke, and he still gets a boundary of it. It was pitched up. He was looking to play that against a turn. There was not a big gap between extra cover and cover, but look at the way he found that comfortably and made sure that he ended the over with a boundary. So 4 overs now completed. NJS already 52 without a wicket. Another change in the bowling attack. The spinner, Mohammad Mohsin, has been introduced straight away when the bowlers were going for like 13 and 0 when the first 4 starts off with a wide outside the off stump. Just 70, in fact 69 more runs now needed for NJS to complete yet another victory here in this SSL Season 3. Tries to go for a big one, but it was much lower through the air, so he just swung his bat a little too early. He'll have to be a little watchful, especially against someone like Mohammad Mohsin, who bowls pretty similar to the way Imran Sajjad does. Gets a bit of bounce and can turn the ball both ways, so they can easily afford to play him quietly and look to target the bowlers from the other end. Slightly on the back foot, getting on top of the bounce, gets another boundary now. Wasim was not a bad delivery, just a little short, just a little wide outside the off stump, but he just waited for that one, allowed that ball to turn into him, and then just hit it in front of the keeper's gloves. Excellent timing and placement. Slightly short, gets it on the back foot. Two fielders out there in the deep at deep hit wicket and long gone, and Wasim will just get a run. At this stage, Zabrij Sports were 44 for 1. At that time, it was Abdullah Alam who was doing the bulk of the scoring, and he was not being able to get that support from the other end. But if you compare their performance with NJS right now, both the openers have come out with intent, and they're looking to maximize the opportunity of getting boundaries in these first 6 overs. The left and right hand combination obviously helps too, but they have simply been relentless against all the bowlers up till now. He'll come around the wicket against Saifullah Naseem. Two more balls left in this over, and then one more over of the batting power play. There is no one backing up, so they're going to get a single. Sloppy bit of work from Zabrij Sports. Should have been a dot ball instead. They bought that single because there was no one backing up behind the keeper. Another one that was pitched up. It missed the bat. It missed the keeper. Fielder from short third will get that delivery, but it's going to be a bye to end the over. 5 overs done. NJS are 60 for no loss. Finally, they got an opportunity to break this opening partnership, and the simplest of the chances have been put down. And he's not going to miss out on that delivery. Slightly short, slightly on the leg stump, and he just waits for that on the back foot and finds that vacant region on the leg side. One thing's for sure, if these two batters can stay out for the next 3 or 4 overs, he might see this target being chased down within 12 or 13 overs. 28 of 18 for Wasim, and Saiful and Naseem in fact is batting on 34. Talking about the required run rate, almost touching 12. Slightly faster one. Another misfeed from the fielder at extra cover. Now they could have gone for that single, but they decided not to. Out of these two, it's Saif who wants to get more on strike. He's the one who is looking to run between the wickets a lot, whereas his partner is just looking to get every delivery out of the boundary ropes. Leading edge, chance for the fielder. Will this be taken? Finally, someone takes a catch. A soft dismissal, a ball that just hold on to the pitch a little. Couldn't keep it down. Wasim, his heart finally managed to break this opening stand a little too early into that stroke, and a decent catch in the end from the fielder at extra cover. So 64 runs opening stand comes to an end. Wasim will be walking back to the dugout after scoring 28. It's 64 for 1. It's going to be Munib Javed in number 3. Another hard-hitting right-handed batter. Usually opens the innings, but now coming into bat at 352 runs so far under his belt in the first couple of matches. Plays that one gently towards the bowler, so a successful over comes to an end from Izhar. 4 runs and a wicket off it. 8 overs done. NJS, in fact 6 overs done. NJS are now 64 for 1. So 64 for 1. The batting power play is done and dusted. Mohammad Mohsin is going to continue with his second over, with Saiful and Asim gets a single towards the offside. Now it's just a matter of how many overs NJ is going to take to chase down the remaining runs, because one thing is for sure, they won't be able to defend this pretty small total, talking about Zabrij Sports. They needed a win after getting 2 defeats in the first 2 matches, and they got a start they were looking for when Abdullah Alam was on song in the first 6 overs, but hardly got any support from the other end. Balls are slightly shorter and just delayed that stroke in the end. Munib Javed, he might look to take a bit of time before he starts launching them big. And it's important that he spends a little time at the crease as well, going on to the big matches later on. Remember, any team who finishes at the top of the points table straight away qualifies for the final. The side at number 2 and number 3 slot gets to play an eliminator before they can face the table toppers in the finals. Tries to go for the sweep shot. No one will be able to get to that one. In fact, the fielder at short fine is trying his level best, and he just stopped it with his front foot. Might be given as a wide or maybe a bye from the umpire. It's a wide. He's about to signal that. A couple of wides will be added to the total. Just looking to judge where the ball is going to turn before he goes for the big shot. Munib Javed. Flies that one up. He hits it over mid wicket and he gets the middle of the blade. Does Munib Javed. Almost a similar delivery which he defended in the previous occasion, but this time made sure that he gets closer to the pitch and deposits that one over mid wicket for a maximum. Don't have many options remaining either, Zabrij Sports. He's the trump card, Mohammad Mohsin. If he's going to start leaking runs, then they are hardly left with any other option. Another one that was flighted up. He was eyeing for that big shot. Just had to check his shot in the end. It's going to be a dot delivery to end the over, but still a pretty productive one for NJS. 7 done. It's 74 for 1. The only wicket taker so far is Har. Will continue, and he almost got another one. Just gets an inside edge, and the ball just going over the stumps. It's gone quiet a little bit, Saiful Naseem, after losing his partner. The required run rate now 3.71. By no stretch of imagination, it's going to be any sort of threat for NJS. Hits it hard, hits it in the gap, does Munib Javed. He'll get another boundary. This time on the offside between point and short third. His heart just dropping it short and wide, and Munib Javed just loves anything outside the off stump. Batting power play or not, but he'll keep on hitting you in that region all day long. .244 boundaries so far in this Sheikhani Super League Season 3. He was eyeing to get on the front foot, but as soon as he dropped it slightly short, Izhar, he just stayed on the back foot as Munib Javed and gets another single towards long gone. With just 122, in fact, just 42 more needed for NJS. It's just a matter of 4 or 5 overs if these two batters stay in. Might be another wide down the leg side. He was eyeing to find that gap between square leg and short fine leg, but just couldn't get any bat behind it. Tucked away towards mid wicket, will fetch another easy single. So many gaps available on either side of the wicket. He's bowled generally well as compared to the other bowlers. Izhar will be another dot delivery to end the over. 8 overs done, it's 82 for 1. Just 39 more to get now for NJS. Mohammad Masin into another. Floats that one up, and Munib Javed once again hits that one out of the park. These two batters are going to continue to bat the way they have up till now. It's just a matter of a couple of overs before we start packing things up. And they're not only winning this game one-sidedly, but they're also posing threats to the other teams who they might face in the finals. Obviously, either it's going to be Aram Sports or Big Bang. Tries to go for another one. This time it's huge. That is definitely gone out of the sights. It isn't even gone over the cameraman, straight back over the bowler's head. This one was a massive hit from Munib Javed. No matter where you are turning the ball into the batter, away from him, but if he's on song, Munib Javed, he hits them big and they stay ahead. 3 sixes so far in his innings and a boundary, of course. Well, they're still taking some time to retrieve that ball back. That is how far and how long it went. Bowls a short one, hits it over mid-wicket. Does he time it well? He just gets it over the fielder. Bowled it even slower and dragged his length slightly shorter. Mohammad Mohsin hoping that Munib Javed might hit one straight down to the throat of mid-wicket, but look at the power behind that stroke. 100 also comes up for NJS just into their 9th over. And now they're just 21 runs away from the victory. Bowls a faster one and the finger gone up. Bowled it fuller, bowled it faster through the air. Munib Javed just missing a straighter delivery, and he was trapped right in front of the stumps. But not before he did all the damage against Mohammad Mohsin. Almost yoked himself, it hit him on the back leg, and that was a simple decision for the on-field umpire. So Mohammad Mohsin finally gets his revenge, but not before Munib Javed entertained us thoroughly with his brisk cameo. 30 of 13 deliveries, 3 sixes and a boundary in it. In fact, 4 sixes and a boundary in it. NJS are 101 for 2. So 9 done, it's 102 for 2 with just 20 more to get for NJS. Anas Mustafiz it is at number 4. Got a single at the first delivery. Now gets another one towards deep mid wicket. Saiful and Naseem is now on strike. He was kept a little silent in that partnership of him along with Munib Javed when Munib was hitting those sixes easily in that previous over against him, Mohammad Mohsin. And now he'll be looking to get some runs under his belt. With just 19 more to get for NJS. You can expect that this match is can get over within a couple of overs at max. Well, he decides to go for a big one, but missed it altogether. Stays on the back foot. Will just get a run towards short third. Might get another one because the wicketkeeper was trying to be a little too clever while throwing at the stumps between his legs, but that allowed the batter to come back for another run because there was no one backing up. He's into the 40s now. You can expect him to go past another half century today before his team goes over the line. Another one that was lighted up a bit. Now the wicketkeeper is appealing for something. He thinks that the back foot was dragged outside the crease, but the umpire said nothing sort of happened in the end. Goes for another one. This time gets a thick outside edge, and the third man has already given up the chase. Gets a boundary. Not where he intended, but he's going to take it. It's the third time he attempted that stroke. Finally got some bat, but it went behind the keeper. Now he's batting on 44, just 6 runs shy of what would be his second half century in this league. Tries to go for a big one, gets it over extra cover. Does he get enough on it? He does get enough on it. Another boundary it is to end the over. He moves on to 48. 10 overs are now done. NJS are 113 for 2. Left arm seamer Bilal is the new bowler in, with the opposition just now needing 9 more runs to win. Anas Mustafiz has driven that one straight down the ground towards long on. He will get a single. The strike will go back to Saiful and Naseem, who will obviously look to go past a half century tonight. Another well constructed knock in this short run chase by the big left-hander. And he's making it too easy in the last couple of months. He has been so consistent at top of the order. Opens the face of the bat, gets another single towards point. Bowls a full toss, gets a treatment, hits it in the gap. Does Anas Mustafiz. has been just being pulled back inside the ropes. Could have been a couple, but they went for a single because they were hoping that it might go all the way for four, which it didn't. So just one run away from a half century, Saifullah Naseem. Obviously, he'll look to get it with the big hit. Just 6 more to win. A big hit will do the job for the team. Slightly full and wide outside the off stump. Modern day Yorker from Bilal. Excellent thinking from the seamer's point of view. Just bowl away from the hitting zone. Although could have been given a wide too, because had to reach out for that one. Saifullah Naseem. Almost a similar delivery. This time the umpire calls it a wide. Might have been a little lenient a couple of deliveries ago, but not on that occasion. Gets a full toss, hits it hard, hits it just to the right of that fielder at long off. He fumbles, but it's not going to stop from him from getting a single, Saifullah Naseem, and that's going to be a half century for him. He's got so many runs in the recent times that he doesn't even bother raising his bat to the dugout. Saifullah Naseem, 50 of 28 balls. Anas Mustafi is just not timing it from the middle of the bat, but will still get a single towards deep extra cover. "11 done, it's 119 for 2. It's going to be Ikrama to bowl the 12th over of the innings, which can turn out to be the last one of the innings too. A single taken towards deep mid wicket by Anas Mustafiz, and he has allowed Saifullah Naseem to finish the job with. That's been signaled as a no ball from the on-field umpire, so the scores are now level. And Saif gets a free hit to hit the winning runs. Couldn't have asked for anything better than that, Saifullah Naseem. And what a night he's having. 50 with the bat. And now we'll get a chance to finish the things off with a big hit. Obviously, he'll go for a big hit. Long on and long off back. Deep mid wicket in place as well. Saif decides to go for a big one. He gets it in the gap. Not from the middle of the bat, but it might go all the way. In fact, it just stopped in the end. He's just going to walk for that single. And that will be enough for NJS to register yet another victory in the Shaikhani Super League. Their third victory on the trot. And that means Zabrij Sports are now officially out of this league and will have no other point to prove in their remaining match. So they comfortably win by 8 wickets in the end. Saifullah Naseem, courtesy of that brilliant start that they got from Wasim and Saifullah Naseem. Saif getting a half century, Wasim getting a cook by 28, and Munib Javed also amongst the runs, 30 of 13 for the big right-hander.